Okay, so you called heads, and what is it? It's tails. So you won the toss. Does it make life more difficult because now you have to choose, unlike the last game?
Yeah, finally won the toss. That's pretty good. So we want to ball first.
Okay, and what is the reason behind that? Of course, you've played quite a few games today.
Yeah, it's a simple game plan as previous one. So we can ball first. That's a correct decision for this match, I think.
Because the conditions are quite different. You see how it's all slowing down and the bowling is really becoming the star now.
Exactly, and the wind is also now it's a bit strong. So as I said, we have a good swimmer. They can also swing the balls, so take the advantage. So
okay. Well, I wish you all the best. Okay, now if I can have the Catalunian capital, captain, not the capital, as good as the capital. Okay, so you get to bat.
Yeah.
Is that okay for you? Would you have also like to bowl first?
No, we thought we will bat first because, you know, we always make a score, then we can defend. So that we already thought that we will be bat first if we win.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be your first game of the day. Yeah. Conditions have changed quite a bit. Have you been watching the matches?
Yes, I have watched first match because we know condition about wicket, so that we know how to play.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
And any star batsmen that we should look out for?
Asif, Yasser Ali, and Khurram Shahzad, hopefully.
Okay.
We'll then.
Okay, well, I wish you all the very best, and let's have a great match.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, well, that's the news from the pitch. The German side, Findorff, has won the toss and elected to bowl first.
Thank you very much, Urvashi Yadav, doing a great job out there in this Spanish afternoon sun. Philip Bachstadt, what a day's cricket we've had. What a place to play cricket on the south coast of Spain at the Manga Club and Resort as we look firstly, and I love these guys, the Catalunya Cricket Club. There's some characters in there. They're led by their captain. I call him the Big Mac, Muhammad Armagan Khan, M-A-K. He will no doubt have his job to do up the top of the order. Nisa Ahmed, Yasser Ali, there were big raps. He had a good domestic season, but he struggled so far to make his mark on the ECL. Azim Javeed, Saeed Shirazi, he'll be pretty handy with his left arm bowling. He's got a few strings to his bow, and he's very crafty at the end of the innings. Ali Azam, then the double M, Mohammad Magal, and we've seen some huge sixes from him in the course of this tournament. Raf Zaman has impressed me behind the stumps. He's done some great work, especially when standing up to the medium paces. Nadeem Hussain, Khurram Shahzad, and Saqib Latif. And Phil, take us through your boys, the Germans, SG Findorff.
Absolutely. A wonderful project near Bremen, SG Findorff. There are a lot of people who've come from Afghanistan during the refugee crisis in 2015. And I'd like to point out Hamid Wardak. We haven't seen quite enough, but he was, I think, top scoring the last game, but he's definitely one of the best players in the team. He was born in Afghanistan, and we're hoping to see more of him when he opens the bat. And the other one is Isra Khan. Isra Khan is one of the batsmen that we are looking out for, 30 years old. So I think we can go pretty much into discussion already because, Vinny, I'd like to know, what do you think? Who's going to be the favorite here?
Well, what I love about this, Phil, it's a very even contest here. Both these teams have had some success as we see the SG Findorff boys entering the field. Yeah, and they're playing for a spot in the top two. We'd love to see one of these teams do really well. You know, there's every chance once you're in the top two, you're only 2 games away from that trophy. And what a trophy it is. It's an amazing piece of silverware. And it actually has a detachable crown. So whoever does win this ECL tournament, they really will be the kings of cricket in Europe.
You've been welcomed a lot here in Spain, and so you're probably more in favor of the Spanish team, but you have to understand that me as a German, I have to be a little bit in favor of my German colleagues there.
Oh, well, Phil, that's absolutely understandable, but yes, I've got a soft spot for the Catalonians. especially the big fella Muhammad Amagan Khan leading from the front, and Muhammad Magal. We saw him hit 6 sixes in 7 balls, including 5 in a row yesterday. He compiled a very, very brisk 76. And there we see on the right the skipper, the Big Mac, notorious MAK, coming onto the field with Yasser Ali. Now, Yasser Ali, he had an amazing domestic season last year. He amassed 640 runs, including a double century. But I think he struggled a bit to adjust to the T10 format. He looks like he wants to take a little bit of time to get his innings going, and when he plays the big shots early, he's not hitting it in the middle. So Yasser Ali's going to face the first ball, and let's see if he can make an impact on this tournament.
Well, I'm pretty impressed with the German fielding side. I've watched them this morning, and it was pretty sharp fielding. Actually, we've seen a lot of direct hits during the last couple of days. It's actually amazing what they can do with the ball in their hand.
Absolutely, Phil. Look, we've seen some interesting cricket, let's say, but we've also seen a lot of high-quality cricket, and these direct hits, they're world-class. We're seeing these players hit one stump from side on from the edge of the circle. So this European Cricket League, it's really gone viral. People watching all around the world, we're getting a lot of great feedback. Isn't it wonderful to see a cricket tournament where the players are playing for their club, representing their country? These aren't the same players that you see playing all the time in these franchise leagues around the world. And what a stage for them to be playing for the European Cricket League Championship in front of millions of people on the European Cricket Network and in over 100 countries around the world.
And Hamid Wardak is waiting for the countdown. He's going to open the bowling. I think he will open the batting as well, so he's a little Botham.
That's what we used to do back in under 12s. You know, you'd open the batting, open the bowling, and let the other players do the fielding. That's what some of the guys used to try and do. And Hamid Wardak, yeah, you said as well, we perhaps haven't seen the best of him. There were big raps on Hamid. He was born in Afghanistan, raised in Pakistan. He does list positive attitude and mental toughness as his strength. He talks about being infected by the cricket virus. When you put it that way, I just love the way this ECL bringing the game into the living rooms of more and more non-cricket people around the world. Perhaps they will be infected with the cricket virus, watching the ball fly all over the park.
He got most wickets for Germany in the last tournament, so his late swing is feared.
Wardak in first ball of this game, called a wide, very tight call there from the umpire. Those blue lines are indicators on the offside.
A little bit harsh.
Be interesting there to see if that one just perhaps passed on the line. It's a bit of a grey area on the line. Some umpires will give you the line and some are a little bit harsher. So Wardak again from the Las Acacias end. It's well bowled, left arm over the wicket on a good length. Worked down to third man. So the first run's off the bat.
He's going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, but they only have 1 or maximum 2 trainings a week. And obviously, from what we know from professional players, they train every single day during the season. And of course, this is where the pros differentiate from the non-pros.
Well, that's right, Phil. At this stage of the game, most of these players have to go back to their jobs during the week. As the Big Mac on strike for the first time, MAK pushes the ball into the offside for a single, so he's off the mark. But as you say, Phil, that's a very good point here, because within a team, we might have 2 or 3 experienced professionals, and of course they're expected to perform game in, game out, but also at the other end of the scale, we have people who perhaps haven't played a lot of cricket at this level, but they're super enthusiastic. And I think it's great for the game that these players are included in this tournament, playing in front of the cricket world and producing some really amazing highlights. Wardak now is short, pulled away. Yasser Ali, maybe that's just what he needs to get going as he rocks back on the back foot and send that one to the square leg boundary for 4 runs.
It's always difficult if you bowl short on this pitch, and he picked it up nicely, pick up the bad ball and hit it.
what we've noticed here, the teams that have had success, they are picking their moments and they're actually watching the ball, trying to select the best stroke for that ball, not necessarily trying to hit everything on the leg side. For those of you new to cricket, some batsmen do find a tendency to try and hit to the right of screen there because it's a bit more of a natural swing. This is back towards the bowler. Hamid Wardick got a fingertip on it. Return chance, a very difficult one for the bowler there as he follows through away from the centre of the pitch. That one came back at him, and Philip, I think he might have just got a fingertip on it.
Yes, he has, but of course the reflex has to be very good, and the movement is going away from that ball, so it's very difficult for the bowler to get hold of this ball.
So the skipper, Mohammed Armagan Khan, and haven't we loved his work here in the ECL? Faces Wardak on the pads, flicked away, well timed, out to the boundary. And Sata Dawesh does the job, saving the boundary. That was a good bit of outfielding there by Dawesh. Picked it up early. Some of the fielding has been a bit inconsistent, shall we say, in this tournament, but that was well done and a good stop. Of course, anything that crosses the boundary is 4 runs for the batsman. If it goes over the boundary without bouncing, they get 6. I wonder how long before we'll see the first Maximo of the day. This is wide down the leg side. Disaster for SG Findorff. Very difficult for the wicket-keeper, Fakar Ahmed.
That's 5 wides.
That's right. So, for those of you new to cricket, it was a wide because it was behind the batsman, but then it went to the boundary. So it's not just 1 run, it's 5 runs to the batting team. It will go down as 5 wides, and that ball will have to be re-bowled. So very costly. It's actually the first one I've seen this week.
So he's already on 14 now, and one more ball this over.
So Wardak be keen to make amends for that error as he's in for the last ball of the over. That's better. Full on the leg stump. Darvesh comes around to clean up for just the single. So a good first over there for Catalunya. The Spanish team moved to 15 without loss. And Phil, just a note there on the 5 wides. Very difficult for the wicketkeeper. Fakar Ahmed, it's an interesting decision for the keeper, whether to stand back and perhaps be in a better position to take the edges. But I do like that he's backed himself to get up to the stumps. But what's really important for all those young wicketkeepers at home is as soon as you see the ball going down the leg side, you've basically got no time. You have to be very proactive. You need to get your body down the leg side, at least getting yourself in a position to stop that ball. You have to really anticipate the ball once it's lost in the batsman to get down the leg side, because by the time you see it, it'll be too late, as we saw that race to the boundary for 5 extras.
I think he was a little bit nervous, although he already played for Germany. This is such a big audience. There are millions of people watching. So let's see what he can come up with in the second over.
New bowler, it's Isra Khan from the Las Lomas Centre. Good start there. Now, Isra was very impressive in his last game with his leg spinners. And Yasser Ali attempting to sweep the first ball, but couldn't get it away. So no score there. 15 for no loss. This one pushed through almost out of the front of the hand. The Big Mac, he's quite deceptively quick across the turf, the captain. And it's a single for Catalunya.
And for those of you who are new to this game, these first 3 overs are the power play overs, so only 2 people in the field can be outside of the ring. So you don't have much protection, so the bowling is crucial.
And they've elected to go with a deep mid-wicket and a deep mid-off as their 2 men outside the circle. This ball on a length. The Big Mac rocks back and cuts that to point. They'll get a single. And what I like about this as well, Phil, if they don't hit a boundary, they're still looking to score off the deliveries. We've seen some of those runs missed early in the innings. If you can hit it to the wide of the fielder on the ring, there's normally a single there. So Yasser now. Isra in.
Easy.
Swings across the line, slogged away to cow corner, but all the way along the carpet. Great shot, and 4 runs to Yasser Ali.
Yes, Yasser Ali, he definitely can bat, although we've seen more of the Big Mac. So if he can also score runs, then we might have a partnership here.
Will this be Yasser's day? Down the wicket, down, down, up and down into the side screen. Maximo! The first 6 of the innings for Catalunya, and Yasser Ali showing what he can do. He's fancied by many as their best batsman, and that time very confidently skipping down the pitch and sending that one into the side screen. Good comeback there from Isra. Held that one back, a little bit more flight and a little bit more width, perhaps trying to tempt Yasser out of his crease. So after 2 overs, it's 27 for no loss. And Phil, we were talking about this before. Of course, we have a large variety of skill levels in this tournament, but the cricket there was first class. We saw Yasser Ali come down the pitch very confidently and hit a straight 6, but then the thinking of Isra with that subtle variation. The next ball, he tossed up a little bit more. It was a little bit wider. So make no mistake, there's some serious cricketers in this tournament. He was trying to tempt Yasser out of his crease for a possible stumping. But Yasser, awake to it, he stayed at home, but still a dot ball and a good result for the fielding team. So Phil, I'm really, really enjoying this, as we know so many people around the world are. Isn't it great to have a match starting every 2 hours, every inning starting on the hour, 12 hours of cricket all the way from Spain. And Farouk Amiri is going to take up the attack from the Las Acacias end of the ground. This is on the stumps, hit away, behind square. Big Mac in the house, that's 4 runs. A little bit too straight perhaps from Amiri. It wasn't a bad ball. And Khan would have been in serious trouble had he missed that. But he found the timing. Got it back behind square for 4, so an excellent shot. Let's see how Amiri reacts to that. This time, a better line outside off stump. And no run. And the Germans, Phil, what sort of a score would you be happy as a German, a former German international, of course? What would you be happy to restrict Catalunya to in this first innings?
Anything below 100 we've experienced is a good score to chase.
This is well bowled on land. The Big Mac pushes it. Amar Khalid does the fielding. Again, that's clever running and experienced cricket. It perhaps wasn't there to go for a big slog. So he cleverly just pushed it to mid-wick, pushed to mid-on, quite slowly, giving him the time to scamper through for a single, turn the strike over. Yasser Ali has shown he's hitting the ball pretty well early in this innings, gives him another opportunity with 3 balls left to take the attack to SG Findorff. Down the pitch, no third man, up and away, it's a Maximo! Yasser Ali with 6 of the best, with only 2 outfielders allowed outside the circle in this 3rd and final over of the power play. It was an excellent shot. He came down the pitch, perhaps looking to hit it down the ground, but had the brains to adjust his shot when he saw it was short, and he sliced it away over the 3rd man boundary for 6. Great shot.
Very confident.
Slower ball this time from Amiri, worked away by Yasser. And again, clever batting by Catalunya. We've seen some of these teams be very good in the power play, but lose their way in the middle of the innings when the outfielders go back, holing out. So, this is a good start from Catalunya. They'll be very keen to keep going all the way through their 10 overs. Next ball short, not timed by Mohammad Armagan Khan. Back to the bowler. That's the end of the over, and a very productive power play there for Catalunya. They are 39 for no loss.
Well, the Catalonians definitely have more pressure than the Germans, because they are basically the home team and they don't want to lose in front of their own crowds. So we'll see what happens. But so far, they're absolutely on track.
So now that the power play is over, up to 5 of the fielding team can be outside that 30-yard circle, which denotes the infield. And new bowler, looks like the skipper, Iftikhar Khan. He's in, it's a full toss, outside off stump. Yasser Ali looks towards the square leg umpire. If it was over his waist on the full, it wouldn't be a legal delivery, but I think that was just below the waist. So just 1 run. Yes, Iftikhar Khan's been good with the ball, Phil.
Absolutely.
This one's shorter, angled in towards the pads. Bakar Ahmed showing a clean pair of heels as he scampered off after that.
Well, in this format, the power play really makes a difference, and I think every bowler is happy when the power play is over.
The pressure to bowl on this postage stamp sized ground. Boundary's only about 50 metres. We've seen high scores, plenty of 6s and 4s. This one straight back. The bowler gets a hand on it. It was drilled back by Yasser Ali. And that's the second time we've seen a difficult return chance presented to the bowler. He really did well there to get a hand on it, because I think it probably would have gone for a boundary. As we look at it on the replay, thanks to NEP doing a great job in the truck. Just into the fingers. That doesn't tickle either. The cricket ball is quite hard. Next ball and appeal. Not out.
Umpire's not having it.
Yeah, perhaps they heard a little noise that went past the outside edge of Muhammad Amagan Khan.
Take a closer look.
I think perhaps just hitting the ground or something creating the noise. It can fool the umpire sometimes. Cricket umpiring, there's so much to think about all the time. I think umpiring in this tournament has been of a very high standard. This is a slower ball, but he doesn't quite get it right. It was a full toss. Swung away by Muhammad Amagan Khan. And we've seen 2 balls in this over that have been high full tosses. Last ball of the over now. Iftikhar. Yasser Ali takes on the fielder and doesn't clear him. It's a wicket. So Iftikhar Khan breaks through the first wicket for SG Findorff, and something for the Germans to get excited about. Yasser Ali.
Yeah, I'll be at the generator.
Oh, bar 3 terakhir darah. West good. Batsman. Bowling change. Change the bowler. Hello. Right arm over. They never settled up. Okay. So maybe just check. I'll let you know if anything happens here. Thanks. Okay. Oh! Sialah baca, sialah. Ini bagus, sabar, come on guys. Oh! Bowling change, left arm holding.
Looks like we're back online, guys. Give it a crack. Back now for the start of the 8th over. Mohammed Magal. That delivery from Wardak was full and he drove it to point. Apologies if you experienced some audio problems there. Lost us for a couple of overs, but Catalunya have moved along to 82 for 3 after the first ball of the 8th over. So the last 3 overs we're expecting some aggressive strokes, and Rauf Saman says, I'll come to the party. It's a Maximo! 6 runs to Rauf Saman, the keeper. He's done some excellent work with the gloves this week. And Philip Buckstart, that was a nice clean hit, clearing the long-on fielder for 6.
Yeah, and haven't we missed your Maximos? There was so much action going on in the last few overs. So now, let's see what's going on.
Wardak, a good comeback. It was full Yorker length. Dug out by Zaman. He's able to get away for a single. So,
I think Mughal hasn't even started yet.
well, that's it. Mohammed Mughal, the double M. He's 11 off 8. That's circumspect by his standards. But we have 2.5 overs for him to take this innings to new heights as he faces Wardak, but well bowled again. Hamid Wardak showing the skill. We've talked about the skills on display in this inaugural ECL competition. We've seen all sorts of cricket, but the good players from all the teams have been executing their plans, and you see here again, right up in the block hole. We know how dangerous Mohammed Mughal can be. But it's Zaman now. Outside off stump. Again, clever bowling there by Wardak. Very handy in this format of the game. Just holding that one back, rolling his fingers on it. A slower ball. Have a look at the skill here. As he just almost held that ball back in the palm of his hand. So Wardak showing some good death bowling skills. This time Zavan picks it up. It's going, gone. Maximo for Rauf Saman. And the second Maximo of the over. And after 8 overs, 96 for 3, Catalunya. And Philip Buckstart, the young keeper, Rauf Saman, he got all of this.
Yes, absolutely. His skill as a keeper is phenomenal, and now he shows us what he can do with the bat. Zaman on 29 of 10 balls. Current run rate is 12, so what do you reckon?
Well, I think that was a really good over for them. A couple of sixes aiding their score. Now with 2 overs to go, I'd be thinking they could easily get 30 more runs here. They'd be wanting perhaps 15 off the over. That would give them 126. Well, I'd be saying they'd be eyeing off perhaps 130. We heard their captain, Muhammad Amagan Khan, saying that they think 130 is the score which they consider a bit of a par score on this wicket and on this outfield, as is Davotsi will bowl the second last over of this innings. Well bowled, a Yorker length. Mohammed Mughal, he's just struggled to get going today, but he hasn't had too much to hit. We've seen some more inexperienced bowlers not able to execute and bowling too short or too full, giving the batsman something to hit. But Mohammed Mughal, we know how dangerous he is. He's contained for now. But Zaman, the man of the moment, beaten outside off stump there. No foot movement.
Good line and length. Anything outside of stump is always difficult to hit for 6.
That's right, and so every ball so crucial in this 10 over per side format, as is Davotsi. Slower ball, rocks back on the back foot, going once, going twice, going 3 times, Maximo! Incredible display of power by Rauf Zaman. Has yet to make all of the running himself. It was a back of the hand slower ball. It was picked early by Zaman, and a really difficult shot off the back foot to hit it up and clear that long off fielder. So just what they needed in this, the 9th over. This one full and hit away, over cover. The fielder's coming around, putting in a good chase. He cuts it off, but the batsman will scramble back for 2. So Rauf Zaman will keep the strike.
But a great save there by Maruf Shah. Saves 2 runs, and those could be crucial at the end.
Every run so important. Coming around to his right and cutting off a boundary. This is another full toss. Edge down to third man. And I was waiting for one of those. It spun sideways and beat the fielder, Mohammed Jalil. He was outfoxed by the spin of the ball on the bounce. Those can spin sideways and not easy in the outfield. This is going to spin from his right to left.
Davotsi is not a happy bunny, but he can't blame the fielder for that. He bowled a full toss again.
Well, you can blame the fielder for it if you're the bowler, but whether the fielder agrees, it's up to him. But Shane Ward would have been proud of that one, spinning out of the foot marks and fooling the fielder. So 4 more to the total. Last ball, this is a full toss. Very high, but the square leg umpire did not think it was above the waist. Well, that was about as high as you can get without being called for a no ball. So after 9 overs, it's 109 for 3.
And let's take a look again at the league table of this group. We have Brescia leading the table with 6 points, Catalunya 2, Findorff 2. So the one who wins here will go into the semi-finals.
That's right, it's effectively a quarter-final. So one of these teams today will be eliminated from the running to win the European Cricket League crown. So it's a winner-takes-all contest here for a spot in the top 2, a spot in the final 4. And we're going to bring you all that finals action tomorrow. As Farouk Amiri comes in to bowl the 10th and final over, and Mohammed Mughal, it'll be out if he hits. And it's very close. Taken by the bowler, and the umpire's going to have to call the third umpire into action. Mohammed Mughal, we saw him light up the ECL yesterday with his power hitting. But today's a new day, and the bowlers have been a lot more disciplined in bowling to him. He hit the ball full to the cover fielder in the circle. Was definitely out if he hit direct. We saw the bowler gather the ball, but after he was able to gather it, I don't know if it was the cleanest way. Also, we see the bowler breaking the stumps with his foot. And if the bails are off, if both bails are off, you have to remove a stump. If one bail's off, you can take the other one. But it looks to me like that is going to be not out. It'll be 1 run to Mohammed Mughal.
And that's what it is.
Third umpire doing a great job there.
5 more balls.
This is short and too short. It'll be called a wide. The bowlers are allowed 1 delivery and over that we call a bouncer. And that is one which is above the batter's shoulders but below their head. But if it's over their head, it's called a wide. It's 1 run to the batting team, and they'll have to re-bowl that one. Five balls left in the innings. This is a slower ball. The race is on. It's a bit of fancy footwork from the German, Farouk Amiri, with one that Franz Beckenbauer would be proud of.
And it's another job for the third umpire. We know that the Germans can play football. Well, last World Cup was not that great, but usually they are quite okay at playing football. And he had a very good display of that. And let's see.
How's the race? The double M versus Farouk Amiri. It didn't seem like a fair race as they took off scratch.
I think it's a goal.
You think it was very accurate there? And it looks to me like he's got the job done. direct hit with the boot. And that's the kind of action you can get here at the ECL. Mohamed Mughal, just not his day. He's going to be run out for 14. And he's got the signal now. He's walking off the field, Mohamed Mughal. And why me? He scored 14 off 11 balls, just the 1-6 today. But my man, the double M, he's still one of my favourites. Him and Mohamed Amagan Khan. Run out there, confirmed by Farouk Amiri on the boot. Not only a wicket, but saves the run. Of course, every run can be crucial.
Have you taken a picture with him already?
I'm definitely getting a picture with the double M and the Mac. That's definitely something I'm going to do before I leave Spain. I've met so many of these guys and they're so enthusiastic. They love the game. They love cricket. They're excited about letting people know that cricket's happening in continental Europe, representing their clubs and their countries. And for all of them, it's been a journey together to get here over a period of months and sometimes even years. So they're very close-knit groups and they're super excited to show what they've got in front of the cricket world.
Nisa Ahmad, the new batsman.
Nisa is bowled. First ball. Had to do it. Great bowling there from Farouk Amiri. First he kicked the stumps down. Then he bowls the stumps down. Off stump out of the ground. But you can't blame Nisa Ahmed, the grandfather of the team, 48 years old. He hit a couple of maximums yesterday. Didn't we enjoy it? But this time he's not able to make an impact. But doing the right thing, unselfish batting, trying to clear the ropes. With so few balls left, it's what you've got to do.
And this counts still more than a dot ball because now there's a new batsman coming in and he wasn't prepared to be on the spotlight, but now he is.
Looks like Azim Javeed is the new batsman.
It is.
He has 3 balls now. This is an interesting one here because Rauf Saman is stuck at the other end, but you can't really be going for singles at this stage. He hits it, it's up and it's in the air. Bisects the fielders. They'll take one and it's misfielded. Davotsi there, taking his eye off the ball. Oh, and that's the kind of concentration lapse which can cost you in the field. Leaking runs here at the end. It was a reasonably good shot from the new batsman, getting some wood on it. Went out towards the fielder and Davotsi just got nutmegged. We've seen some football in this over. The other fielder couldn't clean up. And he's bowled again, Javeed. He was able to scramble a 4 off the first ball he faced, but off the second ball, he is bowled. And Phil, all action all the time. That's what we promised. That's what we're delivering at the ECL. T10s.
Absolutely. This is such an amazing setting. The European Cricket League, and this game is definitely on because the winner of this goes straight to the semi-finals tomorrow.
Winner takes all. And it's been a good last over. We talked about Catalunya eyeing something in the 120s or even 130. But the good death bowling skills and football skills of Farouk Amiri have restricted them to 115 with a ball to go. Rauf Saman helpless at the non-striker's end. He can only watch as the last ball of the innings is about to take place. Hit back to the bowler, a certain run out. Khurram Shahzad. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Farouk Amiri show.
2 run-outs.
He finishes with 2 for 18, but effectively he was involved in 4 wickets there as he was able to effect 2 run-outs also in that last over. So great figures for him, 2 for 18, going for only 9 per over off his allocated 2 overs. The final score, 115 for Catalunya. Rauf Saman acknowledging the support of his teammates and the crowd. Enjoying the cricket here, enjoying the atmosphere. So 115, I'd say it's around a par score. My par score we thought was 100, Phil, but 100 just doesn't seem like enough on this field and in these conditions as we see clever work there. Maybe he's a goalkeeper, Farouk Amiri as well. He was pretty handy with the boots, but he was very quick to get across there, get the ball in the right hand. And of course, he was always going to walk back to the stumps, taking the run out, but more importantly, saving the run. So the target is going to be 116.
We've seen huge scores in the last over, but this over was crucial to keep the runs down for Findorff, because now they definitely stand a chance. I mean, they could have scored 24 of the last over, and that's what I always tell my kids when I coach cricket, that they have to play the overs out. They definitely have to play all overs and perform as well as they can, because one over can make such a big difference.
And we see the scorecard there for Catalunya. An excellent last over there, restricting them to only 6 runs. So the final total, 115 for 7. The top performers, Mohammad Armagan Khan at the top of the order. He was able to get to 15. Yasser Ali looked like it might have been his day. He got to 27 before he was caught by Mohammad Jalil off the bowling of the captain, Iftikhar Khan. Mohammad Magal, well, he showed some heroics yesterday, but today wasn't able to repeat it. He never got going. Only the one Maximo in his 14 off 11 balls. The other batsmen came and went and did what they had to do as the innings was rapidly coming to its conclusion. But Rauf Zaman, for me, the standout with the bat today. We've seen him do it with the gloves, but this time 41 off only 16 balls. He was the best performer for me for Catalunya. And Phil, take us through the Findorff bowling.
Well, Hamid Wardak, we mentioned him before, late swing, one of the best players in the team, German national player. He got punished in the first over. The second over was actually quite good. And there we've got, of course, our star, the football player, Iftikhar Khan, 2 overs. Oh no, Farooq Amiri, 2 overs. Conceded 18 runs and had 2 wickets, economy of 9. And of course he got these 2 runouts, which also count for him. And then we've got Iftikhar Khan, 2 overs, 11 runs and an economy of 5.5, which is very good for a 10-10.
Absolutely, 5.5. Iftikhar Khan, the skipper, he bowled really well. Again, sometimes it's not all out-and-out pace, it's the subtle variations. I thought Israel Khan also bowled very well. He was very clever with his subtle variations, but on this ground, you need to have a bit of luck as well with where the ball's getting hit. All right, Phil, well, we enjoyed that 10 overs, and we enjoyed the overs we were here and the overs we weren't, but let's have a look now at the full highlights from the first innings.
Yeah, it's a fantastic Big Mac hitting it all over the park, and also Yasser Ali, he was in form.
And that was an excellent shot there over third man. Yasser Ali seemed like it could be his day, but then Mohammad Jalil put a stop to that. We've seen the good, the bad and the ugly in the field in this ECL, but this was a good effort at long on to hold on to that one. And the Big Mac, he got going, but then he skied one high into the Spanish sky. And a fantastic catch. The skipper, Iftikhar Khan, contributing again in the field. Skipper catching skipper. But they weren't done yet. Catalunya, as we had a couple more up and away. But also all action as the ball straight up in the air. We saw wickets tumbling. That was Saqib trying to whack the ball away on the leg side. Great catch by Amar Khalid. That was a deft little stroke from our man, the double M, down to the fine leg boundary. But then Rauf Zaman came to the crease and he was very effective. 41 off only 16 balls, a strike rate over 250, so over 2.5 runs a ball. And that was one of my favourites. He picked the slow ball rock back, one of the hardest shots in the game to get the power to clear, and it was cue the circus music there as we saw the ball fill the field. And then this great bit of fielding there, middle stump, if you don't mind, Farooq Amiri. Sign him up. Werder Bremen, they'll be knocking at the door tonight, but then backing it up next ball with some great depth bowling, hitting the wickets. And poor Nisar Ahmed had to come out and swing. More of the same. Another time there, so we had 2 bowls and 2 runouts. Farooq Amiri, this one Going, gone. Touchdown as Farouk Amiri. Alert to it in his follow-through, changing direction. And Karam Shazad knew the game was up, but a very competitive total for Catalunya. They've posted 115 for 7. And as we said, Phil, this is a very exciting game because the winner of this game is going to make the semi-finals and the other team are going to be consigned to the playoff for 5th and 6th tomorrow morning. So, Phil, for now, I'm Vinny Sandu with Phil Buckstadt. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with the second innings of this game. It'll be Findorff chasing 116 to win in their 10 overs. See you soon.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to day 2 of European Cricket League action. It's a fantastic match here between Catalunya and SG Findorff. We saw Catalunya into bat first and they amassed 115 for 7 off their 10 overs. And now we're about to see the SG Findorff reply. And Phil, we were just talking about it. I don't think we've had a last over finish yet, a real nail-biter for all the action we've seen already in the European Cricket League. But do you think this SG Findorff have what it takes to take the game deep and get these 116 runs off their 10 overs?
Well, Hamid Wardak opening with Ashraf. They will have to perform. Wardak got 37 against Brescia already. And Ashraf and the following batsman Khalid, they did not perform yet with the bat. Davutsi had a very good game with 16 runs, Amiri 11. So there were low double figures, and they really have to tee off.
Well, we've talked about the more experienced cricketers here, using their brains as well as their brawn, picking their balls, knowing what that rate is and taking the acceptable risks, taking the game on. Catalunya, they've got some options with the ball. I've enjoyed Saeed Shirazi with his left arm. I called him the left-handed Chris Harris with hair from the throwback to the old New Zealand one-day bowler from the 90s, but he just is quite clever with his subtle variations, his line and length. We've also seen the double M, Mohammad Mughal, at the bowling crease. Also, Karam Shazad has been very impressive in their first 2 games. Yasser Ali, we might see him at the bowling crease as well. So Catalunya, they have a few options with the ball, and it'll be really important for Mohammad Amagan Khan, the M-A-K, Mac, to pull the right strings and keep the batsmen on their toes if they're to defend their 115-run score.
But as you said, we need a real nail-biter here. This is basically a quarter-final. The winner goes to the semi-final, and so this is crucial. The game is absolutely crucial, and the German team, these batsmen, they know how to deal with pressure, because this is definitely not their biggest task that they fulfilled in their life. Not only have some of them played for Germany, but also some of them refugees. They came from all over the world, and they came by foot. Most of them came by foot.
And aren't there some stories as well amongst these characters, these European cricketers? A lot of them fleeing from very terrible situations, but they fell in love with cricket in their home countries, many of these players, and they are very keen to get the game growing in their adopted countries. What a thrill for them to be able to play in front of so many people. And we hope you're enjoying the action here on the European Cricket Network, being streamed to so many countries. Also, you might be watching it on your TV station. We're getting great feedback. I know all my Australian counterparts are watching with interest, and they're just amazed with all the action. A new inning starting on the hour, every hour. Just a fire hose of cricket action. 12 hours today as we watch 6 T10 games. So at the end of today's play, the group matches will be finished. Tomorrow we'll bring you 5 matches, starting with a playoff for 7th and 8th, and that will be at 9 a.m. Spanish time or 8 a.m. GMT, followed by a playoff for 5th and 6th. Then we'll see the 2 semi-finals, and then, of course, at 5:30 p.m. Spanish time, that's 4:30 GMT p.m., we will be showing the first ever final of the European Cricket League. And what a spectacle that promises to be, as we see Azim Javeed is going to open the bowling from the Las Lomas end.
And the German team have changed their batting order slightly. Hamid Wardak still opening, but now it's Aziz Devotsi who is coming in with him. He's usually number 4 bat. What could be the advantage of that?
Well, I think you have to pick players in form. With only 10 overs, there's no point hiding people down the order. You've got to get them out there, especially when you're chasing to a ball. There's no point having a player who's hitting the ball well at number 4 or 5, because they might not get out there. So I applaud that captaincy from Iftikhar Khan. If he feels that this batsman is the man to get them going in their run chase, then you might as well get him out there straight away.
You don't need Chris Tavery or Geoff Boycott in this game.
No, absolutely not. And how interesting is it that the perception of cricket changing? No longer the tea and scones have gone and the maximums are in as the first ball of the chase. It's wide outside off stump. Hamid Wardak dispatches it over the cover fielder all the way to the boundary for 4, and a great start for SG Findorff.
Absolutely. What a great shot to the offside. And he dispatches that.
The crack
One
of
bounce for.
the crack of bat on ball. Love that sound. Next ball shorter. Tucks up the batsman. Bit of fancy work, Rauf Saman. I've been really impressed with his wicket keeping in this tournament. MS Dhoni style, little tap onto the stumps, but the batsman was safely home. So the target 11.6 and over at the beginning of this run chase. So they'll be looking for that 12 and over kind of figure to stay on track. They wouldn't want to fall too far behind that. So here's your man, Devots. He's been put up the top of the order to do a job. Let's see what he can do. He's wrapped on the pad. Big shout for LBW. Umpire is unmoved. Leg bye called. It looked to me like perhaps pitching outside leg stump with the naked eye. Also height there. The umpire has to be absolutely sure ball's going to hit the wickets. Looked to me, yes, I think pitching outside leg stump. Philip Buckstadt gives it out, showing his umpiring skills already next to me.
I just thought it was too high.
I want you when I'm batting. Wardak clubs it away to mid-on. Quick single, but safely home. Yes, the LBW rule. Doesn't it confound people new to the game? Broadly speaking, there's 3 or 4 criteria. The ball cannot pitch outside the leg stump. It cannot be hit by their batsman before it hits their pad.
Or simply, you have a bat and you have to defend your wicket with a bat and not with your legs.
I'll go through the rest of the LBW rule in a moment if you're taking notes at home. The next ball is squeezed out to the sweeper. So what do we say? It can't pitch outside leg stump, that's number 1. The batsman can't hit it before the pad, number 2. It must hit him in line with the stumps, generally speaking, if he's playing a stroke. And people often forget this one, it has to be going on to hit the stumps. Sometimes people think, oh yeah, it's hit him in line. But you have to remember, you have to be absolutely certain the ball would have hit the stumps. And as soon as it's outside leg stump, when it bounces, there's no chance for an LBW. So this one is high, it's miles in the air. It's out of here, into the umbrella for a maximo. That one over our cameraman there at the Las Lomas end. Hamid Wardak lighting it up here at the ECL as that one bounced off the umbrella, which is protecting our cameraman up there from NEP. He's giving us a wave up there. You're okay, boys? I didn't want him jumping off the 4th story there, trying to take a screamer, because it's not a soft landing. But we do appreciate your work.
They are highly experienced. They know what cricket matches are all about. They've done this hundreds of times.
And how good has the camera work been, Phil?
Absolutely magnificent camera work. I can't say that I've seen anything better. Wonderful.
Really happy with the NEP boys and girls doing a great job for us here, bringing elite coverage to this first ever European Cricket League, being it all around the world. Ali Azam, the new bowler, gets away from the keeper Zaman. He was able to knock it down slightly. They're going to come back for 2. It'll go down as wides. It'll be 3 wides. So 1 for bowling the wide and 2 extras that they were able to physically run. So that will be 3 runs and won't count as a delivery in the over. You see Azam just straying down leg side. And again, down leg side, perhaps straining that extra yard of pace. He needs to straighten it up.
4 wides, that's as if some of the batsmen would have scored a 4. So very bad start here for Azam.
That's right. Well, he's still got the chance. He's got 6 balls to turn it around. It's even better than a 4 first ball because we haven't actually seen a delivery bowled yet. As Ali Azam comes in, this is better. Outside off stump. just a length ball. Not
Good
giving him
backing
too much
up there.
pace. Not too much pace to work with. As we see Yasser Ali come around and do the backing up. So we've got 5 runs off the first legal delivery. And this power play, we've talked about it before, how important it is with only 2 outfielders allowed for the fielding team. The batsmen have an opportunity to go for those big hits, try and reach the boundary. You only get 18 deliveries in the power play. You have to make all of them count.
Back to Wardak. He's on 12 after 4 balls.
Azam into Wardak. Well bowled outside the off stump, pushed away. A shy at the stumps. Backed up by Nisa Ahmed. So 1 run there. Interestingly there to Wardak, they had their 2 outfielders both out on the offside, which I haven't seen too often. We've seen fielding captains trying to protect that leg side boundary more often than not. Azam again. Just chopped away. Too close to get any power behind the cut shot there.
But Vinny, these fielders are on the 1, so they should be saving 1.
Well, it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. They're trying to cover as much ground as they can to stop the boundary. So generally you're seeing them on the edge of the 30-yard circle. There is a school of thought to come in a bit and try and protect that single, but I think as we see Azam losing his run that time, yes, you often see people right on the edge of that 30-yard circle just trying to cover as much territory as possible, willing to give up the single in the hope that they can stop the ball from passing them and reaching the boundary. Azam in, pushed, as you say, Philip Buckstadt. Easy run there to the infielders. Saqib Latif cleaning up there at mid-on.
But in a 10-10, you're quite happy with the single as a bowler.
Well, I think so. It's a bit of a gamble, I suppose, if you're trying to come in and cut off the one. This one's up, it's in the air. It looks to be over. Saqib, he's going back. And he's done very well to stop that, as we saw him just keep his foot within the field of play.
Had he stepped on the rope, it would have been a 4.
That's right. So very important that if you're touching the ball, no part of your person can be touching the boundary. So well done to Saqib Latif. Back live now. This is a slightly slower ball popped up on the leg side by Devotsi. That is the end of the over, and the score is 25 for none.
It's a good start by the German team, the team from Bremen, who have developed over the last 4 years into a decent squad. They have won the T20 championships last year, and that's why they're here at the European Cricket League. Hamid Wardak, 14 runs from just 6 balls, and Aziz Dawoodzi, 6 of 6, so 1 run per ball.
And we talked about the asking rate, roughly 12 and over, so they're ahead of that. They're 25 for no loss after 2 overs. This is going to be the 3rd and final over of the power play. Azim Javeed to bowl it. Crucial over this in the context of this match. Ooh. That's well bowled. Great bowling there. A little bit of movement perhaps off the wicket. He was angling in, left arm around.
Good bounce as well.
You see this there, hitting the seam and a bit of deviation. Devotsi there. There is some assistance for the paceman if you can land the ball on that seam. And clever bowling by Javeed. This next ball is lent on by Devotsi. They'll get 1. And I like the urgency here from the SG Findorff players out there in the middle. The 2 players with the bat. They're looking to score. If they can't get the ball away for 4, they're looking at least to get a single, turn the strike over. But when that bad ball comes along, they have to put it away.
So good over so far by Javeed.
Back over the wicket now to Wardak. It's up, it's in the air, but straight up in the air. Mid-on comes in and takes the catch. Kuram Shazad. getting the first wicket for the Spanish champions, Catalunya. He had to make some ground. He came in 10, 15 yards there. His heart would have been in his mouth as he was approaching the ball, but he gets the big wicket of Hamid Wardak. So the German wicket, the first wicket falls at 26, and halfway through the third over, it's 26 for 1.
He didn't quite hit that, didn't time it well, and it went straight up. And a good catch as well by the fielder. But there was a lot of pressure on Hamid Wardak there because everybody knew that he's their top batsman. So now he's gone and they'll have to do it. The others have to do it, and maybe we'll still have a good game.
Well, we talked about somebody having a breakout performance for the Germans with the bat. If they're to chase this down, you really need somebody to anchor the innings and score all the way through. We've seen big scores be dominated by 1 or 2 batsmen. So chasing in excess of 115, is Davotsi the man to do the job? They crossed, so it's Davotsi on strike. It's pulled away, misfield, and 4 runs. It's a deep, long on. That ball was short. As his Davotsi picked it up early and played a good, solid pull shot, the man came around and he got a fingertip on it, but he wasn't able to stop the ball. So every run so important. I just think this one's got a cliffhanger written all over it, Phil. This is short again. Pulled away behind square. Latif's after it. They'll get one. They don't want to take on his arm as the throw comes back to Zaman. So just the 1 run, and good work there from Saqib Latif.
And now Isra Khan, the new batsman, will face his first ball. And unfortunately, Davotsi didn't time that all too well. Here we see the wicket again. Good catch.
That's right. And every new batsman, so crucial that they don't take too long to get going. Isra Khan steps across. He's wrapped on the pad. Ball looked to be angling down the leg side. 1 leg by to the batting team.
It was a very good over there by Javid.
Yes, at the end of 3 overs. That's the end of the power play. It's 32 for 1. So a successful over there for Javid and only 7 on it. And that brought them back to under the required rate. We talked about roughly 12 and over them requiring. That would have been 36 after 3. They're currently 32 for the loss of 1 wicket.
And for those of you who are new to cricket, the German team has to get 116 runs, and so far they've made 32, so that means they have another 7 times 6 balls. Vinny, what's that? 7 times 6 balls?
7 times 6, 42.
42?
That's it.
42 balls.
I'm a numbers man, Phil. You know that about me. All about the numbers. We've got Saeed Shirazi, the left arm slow medium bowler, to come on from the Las Acacias end. Power play comparison, SG Findorff with 39 for no loss after their power play. So Catalunya comparatively slightly behind at 32 for 1. Shirazi in for his first ball. It's up, it's not timed, it's in the air. Nobody back on the boundary, and it's got all the way for a Maximo. Well, I don't know if that was intended or not from the batsman, as Isra Khan looked to be swinging away to the leg side. He got a big leading edge, but with no third man in place, there was no one to try and stop that one from going over the boundary, but probably to no avail anyway. It had the carry. We see with these boundaries, about 50 metres in most places, so it's providing value, some would argue too much value, for the batsman's shots. Shirazi this time, good comeback. And that's my man there, Rauf Saman, behind the stumps. Saw him take a good edge off Shirazi yesterday. Showing good technique there, watching the ball. Not being distracted by the large swing from the batsman. Keeping his eye on the ball. And even showing some good etiquette to repair the stumps with the gloves on. It's not easy to do. Shirazi in again, it's in the air. The man's under it and taken. What a catch there on the boundary. He kept his composure. And you better believe it. Looks like my man down there, Mohammed Mughal, the double M. You've seen him take some great outfield catches. The man, the moment, he couldn't really get going with the bat today. But Mohammed Mughal always looking to contribute to the Spanish team.
He's got some safe hands, that's for sure. And Isra Khan goes for only 6 runs, which is definitely not enough for the German side. But they still have a few batsmen back in the pavilion.
Well, Isra Khan, it's hard to criticise him there. One thing, he's only scored 6 runs, but he only chewed up 3 balls. So I do think if you're going to make him or if you're going to get out, whatever you do it quickly. There's no point sticking around, and you don't have the 5, 6, 10 balls to play yourself in this 10 over a side format with only 60 deliveries for each team to face and compile as many runs as they can. It's hit out or get out, and Isra did the former, then the latter, as Shirazi comes in. Batsman crossed for Aziz Devotsi on strike, and we see another bit of fielding. A little bit comical down there. Going to come back for 2. And Aziz Devotsi getting another gift there from the fielders. It was only dabbed away. But 2 runs scored. The new batsman, Amar Khalid. But you see here, the fielder coming around and just not keeping his eye on the ball. Having a bit of a siesta there. Back live now. Syed Shirazi. Just bowls that nagging line and length. Angle across the right-hander, so not easy to swing it away to the leg side.
And Amar Khalid was batsman number 3 in the previous games. And he's a strong hitter. He hit 60 off 23 in one of the games last year.
He's bowled him. Syed Shirazi finding the wickets there as Aziz Devotsi stepped across. He exposed his stumps, and Syed was equal to the task, hitting the leg stump and knocking it out of the ground. Findorff losing a 2nd wicket at 40 with a ball to go in the 4th over. And you see here, Devotsi taking a risk, trying to clear that short, fine leg, but he couldn't make contact. And you see the man there, Syed Shirazi. How happy is he to contribute with that wicket?
Could have hit that on the onside. I mean, there's so little time if you want to play that shot. It's a trick shot, and you basically really have to have your eyes in if you want to play a shot like that. And I really don't understand why he did it, because he can play it in a conservative way, hit it for 6 on the onside.
Well, yes, Philip, I think, meaning that you could hit it more traditionally on the onside there. You don't have to hit it backwards. And it was the end of the 4th over, actually. So 40 for 3 after 4 overs. So going at 10 and over. They're falling a little bit behind the rate, and losing that wicket is not going to help. Amar Khalid will get his first taste of the action.
And the new batsman is Maruf Shah.
But it's Khalid facing first, as it's, look who it is at the bowling crease. The big man, Mohammed Amagan Khan. I don't think he's bowled in the earlier matches, but he thinks this is a crucial time of the game. This is my moment, the Big Mac. And tell us what you think if you're following us on Facebook, the European Cricket League. Who's your favourite player? I'm very, very kind of interested in this Catalunya team, the characters, the big man, notorious MAK, Mohammed Amagan Khan. An imposing figure there as he comes off about 15 yards, sending down his medium paces. And a bit on that one too, as it's short and pulled away by Maruf Shah out to the square leg boundary, just a single.
Yeah, the pressure's rising now. Required run rate 13. And the target of 116 is going far and far away.
So 13 and over, it equates to over 2 a ball now. A required run rate of 12, of course, would be an average of 2 runs a ball required. Khalid in now. It's short and cut away. It's in front of points. Hazim Javid makes the chase. Maru Shah drops his bat, and he's looking to go again. Well, his partner was. Khalid thought there might have been an overthrow in it, but very difficult to call your partner through if you've just jumped over their bat and they know they don't have that to run with. You'd have to be very confident. That is something about that end, Phil, because that's exactly where Taranjeet dropped his bat earlier in the day and got run out.
And maybe he's a baseball player.
There we go. Oh, did I forget something? That's right. Might need that. So 44 for 3, halfway through the 4th over. A run rate currently just under 10 and over. As Max in again. Chopped down by Khalid. Past the keeper, Zaman, just a single. So Phil, every time that they get 2 or less at the moment, with the required run rate being 13.3 and over, that run rate required is going to climb. So it puts a lot of pressure on the batsman to do something and do something fast.
And the skipper, Catalunian skipper, is doing well there. The Big Mac.
This is swung away. Looks like a bit of glove there. Maru Shah. An attempted pull shot on the offside. So 46 with a ball to go. They would have hoped to be in the high 50s or perhaps 60 at this stage to be on target. So I'm a bit worried about your German boys here. Phil, just look like to be stuttering a bit. Last ball. Beats him for pace. Is there anything this man can't do? Gives him a little smile and a wink and says, am I a bit too quick for you? So an excellent over. Why hasn't he bowled before? Captains, you've got the chance to bowl yourselves. I know I've played under some captains and bowled themselves all day at about that pace. And after 5 overs at the halfway point of the innings, SG Findorff are 46 for 3.
So what's their goal now? That's the big question. What did they just discuss? Are they going for it now?
Well,
there was just 6 of that whole over.
You see, no one set the world on fire there for Findorff. Pair of 14s at the top, but single digits since then, and with 2 fairly new batsmen at the crease, when you have to go at over 13 and over, someone has to take the bull by the horns here. I know you Germans, you can be a bit reserved sometimes, but now's the time to pin your ears back and try and send one flying as Maru Shah gets an edge down to the fine leg boundary for 4. So just what the doctor ordered. And Philip Bachstadt, get a camera on him, he's getting a little bit excited. Lucky number 23, Maru Shah. Let's give him some credit. Perhaps it was a leg glance. It was full, and he tried to turn it. It was kind of off the inside half of the bat for 4 runs. So Syed Shirazi going for a boundary again off the ball of his over. Oh, could be out. Call for a stumping. The umpire, not impressed. We do have the 3rd umpire at his disposal. It was a confident shout there from the keeper, Saman. Again, it was slick work as Maruf Shah was beaten on the outside edge, and the batsman has to have something grounded behind the line. Zaman thought he might have just lifted his foot for a second, but not out, and the umpire is in the best position. So Shirazi again. It's up, it's in the air, but it doesn't have the carry. Max coming around. Gets it done, the Big Mac, if you don't mind. The skipper taking charge, bowling an excellent over, and then pouching the catch at cover to send Maruf Shah back to the pavilion. Maruf Shah, 6 of 5 balls, and his innings is over. Just the 1 boundary to his name. And well done. We talked about leaders and players standing out as we see Maruf Shah depart. And Muhammad Amagan Khan was his most productive day with the bat, but with the ball and now in the field, this is what real leaders do. He called it early, took responsibility, made his way amble round to his left, and had a safe pair of hands. And another German wicket. Phil, how do you feel now?
Whew. I really have no good feeling about this innings now, as the new batsman Farouk Amiri is at the non-striker's end.
Saeed Shirazi. The batter's crossed. This one's up. It's in the air. Saqib Latif with an excellent piece of fielding. He pulled that ball back. He jumped over the boundary rope. He touched the ball. Even though the ball was over the rope, it hadn't landed yet, so he's well within his rights to take off from within the field of play. He tapped the ball back into the field of play, and as he wasn't touching anything on the boundary outside, it's a very good stop. Saves the boundary. This time full toss, hit away over cover. That's 4 runs. Amar Khalid with an excellent shot there. It was a full toss. It was a hittable ball, but it still had to be hit. Doing a great job there to send the ball over that infielder at cover. Normally, Phil, if you can hit the ball directly over an infielder in the circle, there's normally gaps behind them. And that's exactly what happened on that occasion.
Maybe they're waking up now.
Well, it's tosses and turns in this game. Ebbs and flows. This is up and it's high. It's huge! Maximo! And that would be close to one of the biggest hits we've seen this week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 6 on any ground as he stood and delivered a length ball from Saeed Shirazi. He gets bookends with boundaries at each end of the over. And look at this on the replay, thanks to NEP. Look how far this goes. It's going, it's over the fence. It's over the house. That is a massive hit. What a way to finish the over. What a format of cricket, this T10. 16 off the over.
And I was talking about this yesterday already. Our neighbor behind us, behind the commentary box, I think he's now ready to open up a cricket ball store.
He would have the largest selection of
Kookaburra
very
white balls.
slightly used kookaburras. Probably wouldn't know what to do with them as well, but he would also, he'd have to sell them to pay for the broken windows, I think, because that was massive. I mean, I'd have to estimate that as about an 85 or a 90 metre 6. It had the carry. It flew past us here. I was worried Philip Buckstadt was going to jump out the box and try and catch it one-handed, but we've talked about it being a long way down. So, Farouk Amiri to face his first ball.
By the Big Mac.
The Big Mac at Zach. Here it is. Oh, and this is well bowled. You know what I love about the Big Mac, Phil? Doesn't mind putting a bit of muscle into his medium paces. He's probably no quicker than medium pace. Say the early kind of 110, maybe 110, 115 kilometres an hour, but he's been pretty accurate in hitting a length, which is awkward for the batsman. It's not full enough for them to drive comfortably, but not short enough for them to pull away. This time it's quite wide and called a wide by the umpire.
And he can use his height because he's quite tall, so he's getting some bounce there as well.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Big Mac's bowling. At 38 years of age, perhaps he's been holding himself back. Doesn't want to tire himself out bowling the 2 overs a game, so he's let everyone else have a go, but now at a crucial situation and effectively an elimination game for these teams. It's on at a crucial time, but another wide this time called. Good keeping there by Zaman. You still have to keep your composure as a wicket keeper.
And Farouk Amiri, that of course helps him to get his eye in. It's 2 balls that don't count and 2 runs.
Well, we've talked about this 12 and over kind of benchmark for the Germans. This being the 7th over, I'd love to be around 84 if possible, or somewhere in the 80s. This is a big swing and a miss, and Amiri there, perhaps some inexperience as he tried to swing that away over mid-wicket. So with 5 men out here, we do have a 3rd man, a deep point, deep long off, deep long on, and a deep mid-wicket. So probably the gaps are cover if it's there on the offside. Perhaps you get funky and try and beat the fine leg with a ramp shot, but would you try it? This time he's hit it, but it looks catchable. If you're in the crowd, it's a Maximo! Who cares about the outfielders if you can hit it over their head? And Farouk Amiri, after a shaky start, he gets off the mark with a 6.
Yeah, the outswingers he couldn't really get, but this one was straight, half volley, and he hit it away.
Off the bat, the contact didn't seem too clean for me, so I thought the long off fielder was in the game, but he was the wrong side of the fence. So 6 valuable runs for the Germans. The next ball, straight pull off a length ball, down for a single to long on. This is really tightening up now.
Back to Amar Khalid.
45 off 20 balls required. Oh, it's going to go down to the wire.
Oh, he wants a helmet. So the Big Mac.
Respect for the Big Mac. He's dug a couple into the wicket, and Amar Khalid says, I got to protect these good looks. But look, Phil, in all seriousness, he may be thinking perhaps of that ramp shot that we were talking about. Like, that is a ball, a type of shot to attempt if you're wearing a helmet, because you could quite easily top edge it into your face, no matter what the bowler's pace. 45 runs off 20 required. This is wide outside off stump and called a wide. And look, we've talked a bit, and again, it's a bit of an anomaly because you don't want to give the batsman too many extras, but if you can sneak a ball as a dot, it's wide outside off stump, but not quite a wide, the risk of it being called a wide is only 1 run. So when we talk about boundaries being with 4 or even 6, even if he gives up 1 or 2 wides in that plan, it's not the worst result for Catalunya. This one is straighter and swung away to deep mid-wicket. Thoughts of a second there, but good work from the sweeper there to get it back to Ralph Saman. So just the single. Looks like Nisar Ahmed out there, 48 years young. And his son is also in the squad, Hamza Nisar. We've talked about some father and son in the team and the dynamics that would present.
Absolutely. The son is a little bit scared when the ball is flying high at him.
Well, last ball over here from the Mac. It's hit straight down the pitch. Straight down the ground. Well fielded. Some thoughts of a second, but again, it wasn't on. So 1 run. That brings the end of the 7th over. The score 74 for 4, so there were 12 off that one. This game is really heating up. 42 required off the last 3 overs.
That's 18 balls they have to score 42 runs.
So 14 and over. That sounds like a lot, but it is very achievable on this ground because the boundaries are not big. We've seen some 6s that perhaps, well, not perhaps, it definitely wouldn't be 6s on bigger grounds, but for the spectacle, I love these boundaries, and I know all the feedback we're getting on social media, wherever you're watching around the world, people love the Maximo. We want to see more of them, and the Germans, wouldn't they love a couple now to bring this rate back under control? The current rate, 10.57. So they're there and thereabouts, but with only 18 deliveries left, every ball is crucial. Props there to the Big Mac, who bowled pretty well in his 2 overs. First time we've seen him at the ECL. Also holding on to a catch in the over in between, so you can't keep that guy out of the game. It's going to be Yasser Ali, the all-rounder and opening batsman for Catalunya, to bowl the 8th over. And he hasn't bowled yet, so he could potentially bowl 2 of the last 3. Got a big role to play. As this ball is length, it's hit up, it's hit high. Maximo! Welcome to the crease, Yasser Ali. With a 6, Farouk Amiri getting it done.
Bremen was desperately needing this.
Well, we talked about how important the boundaries would be if you're trying to chase these runs. He goes again this time, drags it to mid-wicket. They scramble through for 1. No chance of a second. So Farouk Amiri, is he the man? Is he going to be the hero for SG Findorff, the German champions? Every ball so important at this stage. Only 16 deliveries left. Don't you love this? All action all the time at the ECL. This is wide and hit high. It's hit hard. Going, gone. Maximo! Amar Khalid getting it done, taking the bull by the horns off the back foot, whacking that over the long off fielder for 6. And with 13 of the first 3 balls of Yasser Ali's over, it's game on. And for me, Phil, it's advantage Findorff. The next one is hit high again. Has it got the legs? You betcha. Maximo!
This is how quickly a game can change within 2 balls. It's amazing.
That's what I love about T10 cricket. The game can change in an instant. And you see there, Amar Khalid almost throwing himself off his feet. And they have 19 off the first 4 balls of this over from Yasser Ali. What can he do now? It's, oh, missed stumping. It's a missed stumping. It was a full toss, made into a full toss by the batsman, Amar Khalid, as he came down the pitch. It seemed to me like it missed everything. And Raul Saman, he's been so solid behind there. But who'd be a wicket keeper, Phil? Because just one mistake at a crucial time. It's all eyes on you. You see here, he just got caught ball watching, I think. Couldn't get those gloves down in time. The next ball is up. It's high. It's huge.
It's on the roof.
Maximo. So after the 4 byes, Yasser Ali concedes the 6 with his last ball.
100 up for Bremen cricket for Findorff.
Wow. So 29 runs came off that over, 25 off the bat, and the 4 byes. So what an over, and what a way to get back into the game. So only 13 required now off the last 2 overs. Remember, Phil, this is an elimination game, if you could forget. The winner of this game will make the semi-finals. So who do you need in a crisis? Who would you call, Phil? I'll tell you who I'd call. Mohammed Mughal. The man, the legend, the double M. What can he do here? 13 off 12 required. Surely the Germans can't lose it from here, Phil.
Well, it's never over till the fat lady sings, as my coach always said. So I've already said that yesterday.
How can a short game have so many changes in momentum? First ball is wide and big call. And it is called a wide.
So now it's a run a ball.
Run a ball, but you know what, Phil? I wouldn't count out the Spaniards. They've shown a lot of heart here. It'll be a heartbreaker for them if they lose this one. But advantage Germany as Mohammed Mughal. It came back to him low and he wasn't able to stop the single. All really that's required from the Catalonians. A couple of dot balls, build the pressure, perhaps a wicket and a new batsman. Incredible scenes we talked about. A last over finish. Are we going to see one here? This one's hit hard and high over the fence. Maximo! 6 runs to Amar Khalid.
And what a great shot there on the offside. It's not easy to pick these.
Well, that takes him to 41 of only 13 balls. Looking at a man of the match performance potentially with 5 Maximos. Only 5 runs required. This is edged. Past Raul Saman. He couldn't do anything about it as the slight outside edge deflected past the keeper and all the way to the boundary. Some confusion as Amar Khalid thought they were the winning runs, but actually draws them level. And so Philip Bachstadt, get the grief counsellor up to the box for me, because the Spanish team looked to be knocked out of contention for the trophy. Score's tied. It's off the pad. Doesn't matter how you get it. There's the winning runs for SG Findorff. And what an innings for Mohammed Khalid. 45 runs off 15 balls at a strike rate of 300. For me, Phil, that is a man of the match performance. We talked about who is going to stand up for SG Findorff, and for me it was Amar Khalid. Of course, Farouk Amiri also with a fantastic supporting role. But what a game we've seen there. A very even contest between 2 very evenly matched sides. But in the end, credit to you there, Phil. Great game of cricket, and the Germans won out in the end.
Absolutely, and they did have some batting in the middle order. I was quite concerned when the top batsmen all fell, but there you go. Two of them took the responsibility, Farooq Amiri and especially Amir Khalid, and that's it.
Yeah, so SG, Findorff, what a great performance, but let's also give credit to the Spanish team. Catalunya, they were really fighting to stay in that game, but the 9th over broke the game wide open. Yasser Ali, as they had 42 runs to play with in only 18 deliveries, but he went 6, 1, 6, 6, 4 byes and 6. Every ball so crucial. Look, Phil, after those consecutive sixes, there was a stumping chance, and we've talked about wicket keeping a lot this tournament. It's a lot easier at home than it is when you're behind the stumps. And Bro Saman, he's had a very good tournament, but that one just getting through his legs for 4 byes. You could tell he was very upset with himself. But take nothing away from the Germans. They started to fall behind the rate, but some big hitting got them back in the game from Amir Khalid and Farooq Amiri. And in the end, they win with just a handful of balls to spare.
And there's a German TV crew following SG Findorff, following the team from Bremen all the time throughout the whole tournament. And of course, this is a story they like to see. Amir Khalid, 45 not out. Farooq Amiri, 16 not out. That was exactly what they needed. Only single figures with batsmen 3 and 4, and that's it. They did a great job. I'm thrilled.
What a batting card. And look, congratulations. We've had Brian Mantle, the CEO of cricket in Germany, up here in the box yesterday, and we know he'll be thrilled with that result. We talked about what was required to chase this kind of a score. Someone had to get it done. It's Amir Khalid. And how excited was he as he did what was required of him and dragged the Germans over the line with 8 balls to spare. And now, the man I just mentioned is the man of the match, and he's standing by with Urvashi Yadav.
Okay, Danger Man, Amir Khalid is with me, and what a knock. 45 runs. Do you even know your stats, or you were just too busy? Okay, so 45 runs, 15 balls, 5 sixes. Let that sink in. A great knock.
Yeah, I am very happy with my performance because it will help my team actually. I am more than happy for my team.
Yeah, totally, because I think now you qualify.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what exactly was going on when you went into bat? What were the conditions like? Was it, you made it look obviously very easy, but that wasn't the case.
I was just waiting for a spinner. It was my plan. Yeah.
That's so mean to all spinners.
Yeah, definitely. I can play spinner better than bowlers, fast bowlers, seamers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my plan.
And did you have any particular bowler from the opposition in mind that I'm going to target one?
Yeah, no, I don't know any bowler from opposition because I don't know the other teams.
Yeah.
That's why I was just waiting for a spinner.
Again, you know that you hit a hat trick of 3 sixes. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I was very confident.
So when you hit the first 6, what went on in your mind? Let me hit the second one too.
I was very happy.
Yeah. And then the second one, then what happened?
Again, very happy.
And then the third one, then what happened?
I was very excited.
Oh yes, for excitement you should have seen your teammates. They were going bonkers. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us and wish you all the best. And we have a very happy captain right here, exactly the way you wanted. It has panned out.
Yeah, exactly. But the opponent team, Catalunya, they bowled very well because it's for over 12 runs. It was a bit hard for us. But really, amazing, Amar and Farooq, they did the very good partnership. They hit it the right time, what we need that. Yeah. So amazing, fantastic.
Can you tell us a little bit, because I was standing next to you guys here, can you tell us a little bit about the atmosphere in the dressing room for you? Because I know how loud you were.
Exactly, that was stressed, tense moment. as I said, 12 runs per hour, and in between they increased the average 14 runs per hour. That was really tense. But I said, they are amazing. They played in 2 hours. It's T10. That's called T10. In 1 hour, game changer. He's a game changer in our team. We say always game changer because he can do anything.
And well, congratulations. With that, you've also qualified for the next round. So, well, we look forward to watching you. Thank you.
So
All right, guys, that was the winning captain, and now it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Urvashi Yadav. What a game we saw there. Still feel not quite the last over finish, but almost as good as SG Findorff, the Germans, chased down the 116 runs required with only 8 balls to spare. Now, 10-10 cricket. What do you think? I thought 2020 cricket was exciting, but 10-10, it's just next level.
I'm so thrilled, and I can't wait to see the highlights. Because what happened at the beginning with both of the openers getting 14 runs, they started very, very well, and we thought they were on a good track. They hit 6s, but then
Great
there
catch
was a good
there
catch
by
there.
Karam Shazad. But yeah, we saw some good fielding, the good, the bad, and the ugly at times from the Spanish team, as that one carried all the way to the boundary and over. And then what a catch there. We thought that might be the moment that could spark the Spaniards, as the double M, Mohamed Magal, right in front of the marquee there, holding on to it. This shot was a moment Aziz Davotsi will want to forget when he puts his head on the pillow tonight, as he took the gamble, stepping across and exposing his stumps. But from there, the rate looked to be getting out of hand. A skied ball there, Mohammad Amagan Khan taking the wicket of Maruf Shah. And the Big Mac handy with the ball and holding on to that chance there. But then Findorff, just when it looked like the game was getting away from them, they were able to bring the large ones. That was a huge one. Over the house, across the road, up and away for the Maximo. They brought the rate under control. Yasser Ali came on to bowl the 8th over. When 42 were required in the last 3, he went for 4 6s in the over. And the double M couldn't do much on this occasion to prevent SG Findorff scoring the winning run with 8 balls to spare.
I'm still thrilled about these ups and downs. And here we've got the table again. Findorff, 116, Catalunya 115, and Amar Khalid, man of the match, 45 with 15 balls.
That's it, the tail of the tape there. Amar Khalid, the man of the match. And if we have a look now going forward, we know that Findorff are through to the semi-finals. The final match of the day coming up at the top of the hour. It's the big Group A clash between the top of the table, VOC Rotterdam and Svanholm from Denmark. They are the 2 undefeated teams, and the winner of that game will finish top and have the right to play the second team in Group B, which we do believe to be the German team Findorff. So all to play for. VOC and Svanholm is going to be a very high quality game. International players on display. So don't go anywhere. Do not adjust your sets. Coming up just after this, we're going to have the Group A clash. And Phil, just quickly, in a word, who do you like? VOC or Svanholm?
I think it's VOC, and definitely stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, so that's all from us from now. Thank you to German international Philipp Buckstadt. We appreciate your input today. We hope you've enjoyed this game on the European Cricket Network. Wherever you're watching around the world, it's been a pleasure to bring it to you. From Vinny Sandhu for the ECN, that's the end for now. See you very shortly for the final game of the day at the European Cricket League.